Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Howard. First of all, happy belated New Year. And if you celebrate Lunar New Year, this Sunday is actually the beginning of the Year of the Rabbit in most East Asian countries, but in Vietnam it's Year of the Cat. So I wish everyone a happy Lunar New Year, and hopefully 2023 is a better year than 2022. So today, I'm taking a quick look at this mission to Mars MoonSwatch. So when this watch, in fact, it's a collection of 11 watches introduced by Swatch in March 2022. Perhaps it's one of the most hyped released in the last 3 to 5 years I can remember, no matter what the price is, what the type of watch is. It was kind of crazy. Everyone was lined up at every shop, try to grab as many as you can. Even 8 months later, back in, we're now in January 2023, you still cannot really easily get this watch from any of the boutiques or shops. Online ordering is still not available as Swatch promised. But so I'm lucky to get this red one today, so I just want to do a quick review. Now, as I mentioned, this one was launched in March 2022. It's a collaboration of Omega and Swatch. Again, Swatch it's the world's largest watch company. They own a lot of big brands. The fancy brands including Omega, Blancpain, Breguet, Glashütte, JD, mid-end watches including Longines, Rado, Tissot, Hamilton, and obviously Swatch. Total about 17 total brands. So it's not surprising that they decided to do a collaboration between Omega and Swatch. And I think what people didn't expect was the craziness and the hype when this was pushed out. Everyone loved it. Everyone tried to get a hold of it. So as I said, total 11 watches representing the sun, the moon, and the 11 planets in the solar system, and everyone have a different color scheme, basically representing the different planets. And because it's sort of a copy of the Speedmaster design, they all look like this. They all kind of look like a basic chronograph. Obviously, the different colors. Now, the difference of this one compared to the other is because it's mission to Mars, right? The red planet. The case is red, pretty much all red. And it has the chronograph hand plus 2 additional hands in red. One other special feature for this one is the 60-minute counter hand plus this 1/10 of a second hand are both in the shape of a spaceship, right? This is the only one of the 11 has the spaceship look or design. All the others have a regular hand. And the other thing to notice is this MoonSwatch, the S here, only this one and the sun one, the one for the sun has this red S. The others have other colors. In terms of the size, I think the website says it's a 42 millimeter case, but the 42 is actually from the side all the way to the crown guard. That's 41.7 to be exact. The top of the bezel to the bottom of the bezel, which is what I would really consider as the size of the case, is only 39.6. So this is really a 40 millimeter case. And it's 13.25 millimeter thick. So it's pretty, it's not very thick. Average, I would say. Lug to lug, because of the kind of tapered down design, it's only 47.3, so it's not very big at all. Most importantly, it's ultra light. This watch is only 28 grams or 1.04 ounces. When you wear on the wrist, literally you don't feel too much at all at 28 grams. Now, as I mentioned, the design kind of looked like the moon, the real moon watch. But again, what caught me by surprise was this is actually not a 12-hour counter. You see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, the number 10 at the top. So this is actually a 1/10 of a second count. Then you have the running 60 seconds, and this is the 60-minute counter. Other design features, you have the tachymeter on the bezel, which is pretty standard for chronographs. I think you can see the glass, sits on top a little bit. And you have the Omega X Swatch Speedmaster words here, and the MoonSwatch here. Swiss made, and it's a little bit hard to see here. There's a Swatch AG 2021 in like a light gray print. Then you got the minute track. In between the seconds, you have additional markers between each second mark. So overall, it's a very clean design with the white dial and the red hands. It looks very, very nice, very legible. Let's take a look at the chronograph function. So when I press this chronograph star, this chronograph hand is going to start to move. And because it's a quartz, it's not a mechanical watch, so it moves in this jumping 1 second sort of a movement. It's not a smooth, generally it's not a smooth movement like the mechanical watch. And what's interesting is that when I press this stop, you will notice this 2 o'clock counter will also move to indicate 1/10 of a second. Let's see that. So I just did that. So you can see the second hand stopped at 30, this is 35, so 34, 33 point something, right? And then that's 33.2, essentially, if you want to know the 1/10 of a second. If I press going back, this will go back to 10. And the regular counter will continue walk. One more, 10, going back. Here's a 7, so that means the second is at 44.7 seconds, if you want to look at that. So it's a pretty neat trick. And when you press this going back, you will notice both of these will go back to the top, but it goes back in a pretty smooth fashion. There you go. Pretty neat. When the watch came out, there's argument. Some people think it dilutes the Omega brand. I personally don't think so. I think it's good for the industry. It's good for Swatch, good for Omega, for people to see. Oh, look, here's a more affordable option for you to get something look like the real MoonWatch. I think it gets a lot of people in the space. And I think absolutely increases the awareness of the Swatch and the MoonWatch awareness. So I think it's good for the industry. Let me put on my wrist to take a look. Okay, it's on my wrist. My wrist is small, 6.5 inches, 16.5 centimeters. So, essentially this is a 40 millimeter from top to bottom. And a 47 lug to lug looks really not that big at all, even on my small wrist. Not big at all. The fit is very well. Again, because it's super light, 28 grams, you almost don't feel anything. The only thing you feel is the strap. Okay, that's the thing. I think it's a little bit of a knock. I think the strap is made of vinyl, I believe, PVC. It's basically a synthetic polymer plastic material. On one hand here, maybe that's the model of the Mars, or maybe that's for the Mars. Here it says Omega. But maybe because this one's relatively new, it feels kind of stiff. When I was wearing earlier, just for a little testing, after a while, it didn't feel super comfortable. Obviously, it uses the Velcro to lock it. Oh, so on this side, it says Speedmaster, Mission to Mars, MoonSwatch. Yeah, so if you can upgrade a strap to something a little bit more comfortable, and I think it will make the wearability a little bit better, because right now it didn't feel super comfortable. So here on the back, again, you have the red planet. It's look like a Mars, Mission to Mars, and let's see, Swatch, Swiss made, water resistant, design patent, the number 4 joules. I can't see what that is. It's super small. Now on the side, dream big, fly higher, explore the universe, reach for the planets, and then lastly, enjoy the mission. So yeah, so it's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's, again, overall design looks very nice. It's very legible in this particular red and white combination. I mean, price-wise, it's listed at $260. I think it's a good price, right? I mean, obviously, because everyone wants it. I mean, the secondary market price for most of the models, it's in the 300s, except there's a model I think Daniel Craig wore recently. So that particular one, I think it's the Mission to Neptune. I don't remember for sure. The price is significantly higher on the secondary market. But to me, look, if you can get it at $260, you know, as a fun watch, a kind of cool watch to wear on the weekends, totally okay. I don't think it's worth, you know, $1 more than the MSRP. Hopefully Swatch can figure out a way to make a lot more of these watches and people can order online, so that will make, you know, a little bit more accessible. You know, again, at $260, I think it's a good fun watch, because think about the regular Moon watch. Starting price is $6,400, right? This is $260. So if you want a, you know, cute look-like Moon watch to wear for fun, you know, this is potentially a very good option, or other 10 models in the 11 watch collection. So again, this is the Swatch and Omega collaboration, the Speedmaster MoonSwatch. Model number, this particular one, SO33R100. SO33R100. Hope you enjoyed the video. I see you next time.